Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with another live, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I'm just chilling, man. Really don't got no complaints at all, man. Very happy that we hit our milestone. You know what I mean? We hit that 2,200 mark. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's came through and supported the channel and got me and the channel to where it needed to be. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna continue growing. Like I said, we on the road to 3K. You know what I mean? So we're going to get to that goal little by little, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the building so far. Shout out to my boy Coffee Plan. What up? Hit the like button as soon as y'all come in, y'all. Hit the like button as soon as y'all come on. And we got 4 likes. I'm highly appreciative for everybody that's coming through and showing love right now. We got some things that we currently need to discuss in the boxing world, man. We're going to speak about Shakur Stevenson possibly fighting Cordina next. Jaron Ennis might have in the rematch. Karen, you know what I'm saying? Karen, whatever the hell his name is, and Gervonta Davis possibly returning in November, man. Hit the like button as soon as y'all come in. And I should be having a special guest coming in, man. I'm going to actually hit him up right now and still see if he's up for it. But regardless, it seems like that's going to be the move. So let me bring him up on here, y'all. His name is Mike Fox, by the way. Michael Fox, you feel what I mean? A professional fighter from out in Maryland, you know what I mean? Was a sparring partner for Tim Tszyu, sparring partner for Gervonta Davis. You know what I mean? He done been around the block. And if y'all know who Mike Fox is, man, unfortunately, he became the victim to the politics of boxing, the corruption of boxing, and was robbed against Gabriel Maestre. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all didn't see that, fight, that was probably one of the biggest robberies that I've seen in the past decade. You feel what I'm saying? And that's saying a lot because, you know, people get robbed often in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Mike Fox decision, you feel what I mean? Definitely takes the cake. You feel me? So, yeah, man, we got some things that we need to discuss, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. We gonna speak about a few things. You feel what I mean? But I'm going to let a few more people get in here, man. Spread the word that Mazuma TV is live. You feel me? He said that's cornball and Shakur is Puerto Rican. I mean, he's half Puerto Rican. His father was Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he ain't really have a relationship with his father, so he not really tapped in on his Puerto Rican side like that. You feel what I'm saying? But, he's half Puerto Rican. Did you just find that out? That's been known for a while now. You know what I'm saying? Why are you saying no? The Freedom and Fun podcast. I never heard you on the chat, man, but shout out to you for coming through and showing love if you're new to the channel. You feel what I'm saying? Let me check in with my boy Mike Fox to see if he's still available. You know what I mean? Let me see something real quick. Where he at? Hold on real quick. I'm going to try to get him on here, man. But we definitely going to speak some good boxing because along with you know, him being a professional fighter, you know, being an experienced fighter, he's also a great commentator as well. You feel what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna have some good boxing talk if he's still available. You know what I mean? He agreed to it initially, but you know, people got shit going on. So let's see if he actually comes through. You feel what I mean? What I wanted to speak about today, man, is because you know what I typically do now is, you know, I speak a little bit about some real life shit before we get into the boxing stuff. And one of the things that I wanted to speak about in all honesty was really making no excuses, man. Like really making no excuses. I had ran into this dude today at the gym, you know what I'm saying, that told me, and I believe he was Honduran. And the man told me that he had 3 jobs, man. And he still makes time to, you know, get his training in, and he actually got fights, you know what I mean, and competes. And, you know, he puts a lot of work in, man, works harder than the average individual, all that good shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I see him do that. He told me what his whole schedule was. And it's like his schedule is chaotic, man. His schedule is extremely chaotic. You know what I'm saying? He go from one job over to the next. He said he be sleeping in his car. Then he get into the next shift. Then he come to the gym. You know what I mean? He sleep a couple more hours at his crib. Then he get right back in the mix. I'm like, bro, that's kind of crazy, bro. You see what I'm saying? Because listen, I got a part-time job that I go to prior to, You know what I'm saying? Going to the gym like that. That's probably why you be seeing me dressed like all business like and shit like that. So if you see this man doing this, bro, now this is I ain't gonna lie to you. That's something that I would never do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to sit here and act like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be, bro. I don't even like this one job that I got, in all honesty, and that shit just be pushing me mentally here and there, that to the point where I don't be feeling like even working there no more. You feel what I'm saying? But this dude got 3 jobs. You know what I mean? And he make no excuses in getting in the gym and putting the work in. He one of the hardest workers in the gym. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being known, bro, stop making excuses for yourself, man. There's a lot of people who just sit on the couch and act like things are far-fetched for them to achieve and stuff like that, and they act like they don't got certain time. Like I hear people that say, "Oh, I don't really got time to work out." Bro, if you got 20 minutes out of your day, you could work out. You know what I'm saying? Like these workouts don't have to be, strenuous workouts or be lasting hours. Bro, these are like, if you got 10 minutes, if you got 15 minutes, you got 20 minutes to yourself, you could work out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. No, he's Honduran, he ain't Mexican. But he work his ass off though, bro. And I grew to admire that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's something that I definitely wouldn't do. You feel what I'm saying? So I respect it that way. You feel me? But yeah, man, we're gonna speak about Shakur Stevenson and Joe Cordina, man. There's been a lot of information that's been coming out here and a lot of speculation. And I don't know exactly where he work at Boxing Film. I didn't get to ask him all those questions. I didn't really want to get too much in his business. I was just giving the information that he felt like telling me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really. He was just telling me what he had going on, and what I mean, how he got these 3 jobs, and I believe one of the jobs he said he had was he was a cleaner or something. You feel me? But regardless, yeah, man, let's get into the boxing talk, man. Shout out to the 7 people that's in the building right now that's coming through and showing love for the channel. You know what I'm saying? And we got the likes up as well. I'm very appreciative for everybody that came through and decided to do that. I mean, because there'd be a lot of people in the comments hating, like, man, I ain't giving him no likes. I ain't giving that nigga no likes, man. He got 30 viewers, man. I ain't giving him no likes. He be all right. You know what I mean? Niggas be hating like that. You feel me? So I appreciate everybody that's coming through and decided to support the channel and getting the algorithm on the up. You feel what I mean? But let's get into Shakur Stevenson, man. Pause, because you see what I mean? He's been one of the biggest boxing topics as of lately, for the right reasons, for the wrong reasons. He just came off of a good win against Artem Harutyunyan not too long ago, dominating performance. And ever since then, he's been free from Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? And there's been a lot of speculation as to what, exactly what Shakur Stevenson was going to do next, whether he was going to remain a free agent. Was he going to sign with Eddie Hearn? You know what I mean? Possibly signing with Mayweather Promotions. There's been a lot of speculation as to what Shakur Stevenson was going to do. And based off of the moves that he's been making lately and just seeing who he's been around and, exactly what he's been involved with, it seems like Shakur Stevenson is leaning towards, one of the most powerful men in boxing right now, and that's Turki Al-Sheikh. You feel what I mean? I seen Shakur Stevenson sitting ringside with Eddie Hearn, so it may possibly be a situation similar to Boots Ennis, where he's doing a partnership with Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? But he's doing his own thing. From the latest interview that I seen he had with Ack and stuff like that over with DAZN and them, he said that he's still not tied down to a promoter. So I would not be surprised if he signed some type of partnership deal with Matchroom Boxing or whatever, dealing with Eddie Hearn. And he's going to be a part of this Riyadh season cards. A lot of people is gravitating towards Turki Al-Sheikh because he's putting the bread up and he's giving these dudes career high paydays and he's keeping them active. He's keeping the dates. So it makes sense to go in that direction at this point in time. I feel like Turki Al-Sheikh came at the perfect time for Shakur Stevenson's career. And I like it, man. You know what I mean? Now, in terms of, the rumored opponent that he's going to be having, I'm not the biggest fan of it, man. I was under the impression that, Shakur Stevenson was going to fight William Cepeda. You know what I mean? I was under the impression he was going to fight William Cepeda because, that's what the people were talking about. I seen Coach Panda sit down in an interview with Mill City Boxing, and he straight up told you that Shakur Stevenson and William Cepeda was in the works, and that was a fight that was going to be happening next, and all types of stuff. So I was kind of confused as to why these, reports had come out from Michael Benson. You know what I'm saying a totally different thing. You feel what I mean? And this is the report that came out from Michael Benson. You feel what I'm saying? So let me put this picture up. Let me put this tweet up and present it for y'all to see. Share the screen. Share the screen. This is Michael Benson over on X, formerly known as Twitter. And he says, Shakur Stevenson says he's in talks to potentially fight Joe Cordina next because William Cepeda doesn't want to face him yet. This is Shakur Stevenson's tweet right here. Let me see. Somebody by the name of Hassan had wrote something that said, let me find out Tank took Cepeda from Shakur. Shakur said, nope, Cepeda and Oscar just pushing the fight back as long as they could. He want to hold on to that. Oh, somebody else, the same dude Hassan had wrote, I don't want to see that. He just got stopped by a guy who didn't get a KO in 8 years. I'm sure he's referring to Joe Cordina. Shakur Stevenson said he was weak fighting at 130. He's actually a really good fighter, but just sucking himself down to make a weight he shouldn't have been making. I for sure wouldn't take dude lightly, but Cepeda don't want to fight just yet. So whoever it is gonna be, they gonna get this work. This is the tweet from Shakur Stevenson right here on Michael Benson's page. So what does this necessarily mean? This just confirms everything that I have been saying about William Cepeda and Golden Boy Promotions. I have put out multiple videos telling you how Shakur Stevenson does not want any trouble. I'm sorry, William Cepeda and Golden Boy Promotions, they don't want any trouble with Shakur Stevenson. I told you how Coach Panda was doing interviews and he was speaking on Shakur's name very respectfully, and how that wasn't something that he was looking forward to doing right away, and how he would rather see William Cepeda fight Loma or Baranchek. The weaker guys, the weaker champions out of the lightweight division, in my opinion. That's how I took the whole situation. But I told you guys, and when Oscar De La Hoya came out with a tweet talking about that he won't make the Shakur and Cepeda fight unless Shakur Stevenson signs with him, that's how I already knew it was duck sauce, in the mix. You feel what I'm saying? I told you guys, these guys don't want anything to do with Shakur Stevenson. I would not be surprised if they walk away and, completely avoid Shakur Stevenson altogether. You know what I mean? Then the rumors came out that Turki Al-Sheikh, was trying to make the fight happen. They put in a big bag, and all of a sudden, Oscar De La Hoya and them seemed like they were so optimistic, but it seems like they jumping off of the block now. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. You feel what I mean? That's all the information that's been coming out lately, and I'm not surprised at all. I told you guys. You know what I mean? William Cepeda and them, they talk a good game. Oscar talk a good game, but they not going to cash their fighters out. Oscar De La Hoya got a formula, y'all. He got a formula. He like to big you up, match you up against, winnable fights to get you a high ranking or whatever the situation is. And then once they're able to get in the ring with that superstar that they can make millions with, then they cash them out and just make them reset. He did it with Canelo Alvarez early in his career. When that Mayweather fight was building up and they finally got to get that Mayweather fight, he cashed Canelo out. He built up Jaime Munguia, had him fighting all these guys that wasn't on his level, just building his name up. And then he slaughtered him for Canelo. Ryan Garcia, they built his name up. Oh, he has 1 million IG followers. Oh, he's a media sensation. Had him fighting all these nobodies, just building his resume up. Fighting an old Javier Fortuna, building his name up. Tago, all these guys that we never even heard of until they fought Ryan Garcia. Then when the Tank being one of the biggest stars in the sport of boxing, stepped up to the plate to fight Ryan, they cashed him out. Oscar De La Hoya has a formula, y'all, and he don't like to fuck it up for nobody. You know what I mean? It works for him, so that's how he like to, cash his fighters out. He feel like Shakur Stevenson isn't a big enough star right now, or it doesn't bring that much of a demand, or he doesn't bring a lot of money to the table where he feels like he's ready to cash out William Cepeda yet. You feel what I mean? So what they're going to do, most likely William Cepeda is probably, if he doesn't get the Tank fight, because Hassan might make a valid point. It might be a situation where Tank takes Cepeda from Shakur, just like how he took Frank Martin from Shakur. I know y'all remember Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin being in negotiations, and then Frank Martin and his team pull out. Hold on. What happened? You hung up? Huh? I hung up.
No, I don't know why you took it up.
Oh, well. All right. My fault. But anyways, I know y'all remember when Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson was in negotiations and stuff like that. And, you know, Frank Martin pulled out the negotiation. Everybody was like, oh, Frank Martin a duck, Frank Martin a duck. And I was like, yo, the only way that this genuinely makes sense is if he's getting a Gervonta Davis fight next. So that's exactly what happened. They seen that they was in, you know, negotiating back and forth, and Tank Team reached out and was like, yo, why don't you just fight us? You know what I mean? We getting the same, you getting the same world title opportunity. We giving you more money, and it's a you know, in-house PBC type fight. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being known, you know, Tank took Frank Martin from Shakur Stevenson. I would not be surprised if Tank fights William Cepeda and takes William Cepeda away from Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? That was something that Earl Spence had attempted to do with Terrence Crawford. I remember Terrence Crawford was trying to get a fight with Manny Pacquiao, trying to get that fight with Manny Pacquiao. Then Earl Spence ended up locking the fight in with Manny Pacquiao. Mind you, that had ended up falling apart because, you know, he had his eye problem. But these things happen in boxing. You know what I mean? It's just the business of the sport. You know what I mean? If you're the bigger star, you know, you could get away with shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? So don't be surprised if Gervonta Davis fights William Cepeda next. If not, I think Rayo Venezuela will be the next possible opponent, or the most realistic opponent, in my opinion. You know what I mean? We got to wait for more information to come out. But regardless, this is what Shakur Stevenson got cooking up right now, because William Cepeda and Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, they don't want that smoke as of right now. They don't feel like it's the right time to cash out. You feel what I mean? So they're going to keep doing what they're doing. And then, you know, if Shakur Stevenson gets a couple more performances and he, you know, his name is at an all-time high, or they're not able to get the Tank fight, then they might cash out with Shakur Stevenson. But as of right now, it seems like Shakur is already in his promotional bag, just bigging up Joe Cordina's name. Look how the way he's defending Joe Cordina is like, it's almost as if he's trying to justify him being an opponent. He said he was weak fighting at 130. So he's already given him the excuse for why he had gotten knocked out. He was weak. He was drained at 130. At 135, he's going to be a much better fighter. Oh, I wouldn't take him lightly. Cepeda don't want to fight me yet, so whoever going to fight me, they're going to get this work. You feel what I'm saying? So it seems like this is something that's already in talks. You feel what I mean? This is something that's already in motion. Don't be surprised if Shakur Stevenson announces a fight with Joe Cordina anytime soon for his WBC junior. Wait, what the lightweight, his WBC lightweight title, y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Don't be surprised at all. And I understand, man, there's a lot of people saying they're not jacking this fight. I'm not a fan of the fight either, but we really got to take into consideration what Shakur Stevenson's options are at this point in time. You feel what I mean? Could he face Raymond Mortataya? Yeah, I would like to see that fight. I think I would like that fight a little bit more than the Joe Cordina one. But I believe Joe Cordina is a former world champion, so he's more credible for this opportunity, in my opinion, than Raymond Mortataya. You know what I mean? William Cepeda, they just made it clear they don't want that smoke. Gervonta Davis, you know, he not going to fight on Shakur Stevenson time. You know what I mean? If Shakur Stevenson going to fight Gervonta, it got to be whenever Gervonta feel like it. You know what I'm saying? That's just A-side shit. And Top Rank, yeah. And, you know, that's another great point, Ree. You brought this right back to my mental. Bob Arum said that if Shakur Stevenson doesn't re-sign with Top Rank, that he's not going to give him any fighters under the Top Rank banner. He told him that he's not going to give him that opportunity against Loma if he don't re-sign. For all that, he'll just give the fight to Keyshawn Davis. This is a quote from Bob Arum. You feel what I'm saying? So if Bob Arum is saying these things, then what makes you think that he's going to get any type of fight with any type of top-ranked fighter if he's not signing back with Bob Arum? Bob Arum not going to let Shakur beat up on one of his guys and fuck up one of his investments when he's not signed with him or benefiting off of him. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. You know, this is what happens when Gervonta Davis doesn't want to make fights happen right away, because, you know, Gervonta could easily reach out for Shakur and send him an offer. But, you know, Gervonta and his team, they got a system. You know what I mean? They call it the green print. They go out and his team go out and tell you that black versus black fighters don't sell, even though we debunked that on this channel. We debunked that. You know what I mean? Because one of the highest paying pay-per-view fights of all time is Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson. Still up on the boards till this day. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, Lennox Lewis not Mexican, Mike Tyson not Mexican. I recognize both of them as black men. You feel what I mean? But they let you go and tell it just like how Mayweather did, you know, while he was in his career. Black versus black don't sell. blacks and black fighters and Mexicans, they're the ones that sell. So, don't be surprised if Gervonta ends up fighting another Mexican. You know what I mean? That happens to be either William Cepeda or Rayo Venezuela. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Am I satisfied with this fight for Shakur Stevenson? Absolutely not. But can I really knock him considering the options that are in front of him? Not really. Like, this is why it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if Shakur sits back and he waits for an opportunity, he'll be like, look at him stalling his career out for somebody else, man. No, look. And then if he goes and he fights somebody that people don't deem credible or, a big name, then they you know what I'm saying? It's like they get criticized regardless. So Shakur need to go ahead, take that fight, stay busy, you know what I mean? Get you another little paycheck, keep building your name up, keep finding ways to acclimate to the lightweight division. Because as far as I'm concerned, you know what I'm saying? You still having trouble, getting yourself up to that weight. With Edwin De Los Santos, and Shakur Stevenson just released an interview with Andre Ward on Andre Ward's channel, All the Smoke. And he was talking about how he was underweight for Edwin De Los Santos. Like, he didn't feel good. He was sick and stuff like that. And listen, I don't even know what the details was, but, based off of that, I'm assuming that he's not a full-fledged lightweight yet. You know what I mean? So hopefully he get back in the lab. He put some pounds on, put some muscle on to add to, to grow into his lightweight frame and just go from there. You know what I'm saying? Let me see something. The stranger said, "Then I call it, Mark. He was gonna face Rayo." I said the same thing. As soon as Rayo beat Isaac Cruz, I was like, "Yo, listen, man." Because at the time they were talking about Shakur Cepeda was gonna fight each other. I'm like, "Yo, look, Shakur Cepeda, they caught up with each other. They're gonna fight later on this year." And he said that the other option was the Isaac Cruz rematch. Isaac just got beat by Rayo, so Tank might take on Rayo. I said that right after that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean it's you did call it. You feel what I'm saying? So, but it's not a surprise at all. If you just do process of elimination, the only people that's really left, is Rayo. You know what I'm saying? But considering that Cepeda seemed to back off the block, and Oscar was bragging about how he's ranked in every sanctioning body, Cepeda might get his opportunity against Tank. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna have to wait to see exactly what's going on. But the Freedom and Fun podcast, shout out to them. And we got 22 people in the building, man. If you could hit the like button as soon as y'all come in, that'd be very much appreciated. Let's get these likes on the up. Let me make sure the likes is correct. Let me make sure the likes is correct. Let me see what's going on here. Hold on. It can't be true. We got 14 likes, man. We gotta get them likes up for sure, man. Let's get them up. But anyways, let's see what's going on here. The Freedom and Fun podcast says, "Do you think Berlanga got a chance?" I mean, listen, man. I've seen crazy shit happen in boxing. So as far as I'm concerned, I will never give Berlanga a 0% chance of defeating Canelo Alvarez. Berlanga's big. He's explosive. He got power in both hands. So, maybe he could possibly hit Canelo with a shot. You know what I mean? But me knowing Canelo for as long as he's been boxing, as long as I've been watching him, I've seen him get hit by big dudes, man. I've seen him get cracked by Daniel Jacobs, Triple G, Miguel Cotto, big punchers, bro. Dimitri Bivol, who was a full-fledged light heavyweight. And I did not see Canelo Alvarez hurt, rocked. I haven't seen him rock since he fought Miguel Cotto, brother, and he was like 19 when that happened. Canelo's like 34 now. You know what I'm saying? That's 15 years ago, the last time we seen him rocked. I never seen that man dropped or anything like that. So Edgar Berlanga, he's dangerous. You know what I mean? He's definitely risky. But do I think he had, anybody got a chance? This is boxing. But do I think Berlanga is going to beat Canelo? No, I don't. I think that he actually might get stopped by Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Old school 868. I see you in a while, my brother. How you doing, man? I hope everything is well with you. I haven't seen you commenting in a while, man. I hope you good, man. But yeah, man, this is boxing. Anything can happen. You feel what I mean? But based off of I've just seen more from Canelo Alvarez. That man is experienced. He done been through wars. He's had dominating performances. You know, he's been in there with so many elite level guys. Edgar Berlanga hasn't showed me enough and picking him to win. And you can't be mad at me for that. You can't be mad at me from that. Yo, listen, I'm Puerto Rican too. I'm Puerto Rican too. You know what I'm saying? And would it be dope to see a Puerto Rican defeat Canelo? Yeah, it would be. But, you know, I'm also realistic with my opinions. I break it down. I look at every single section of their abilities. You know what I mean? I look through, I'm like, yo, all right, so who got the better hand speed? Who more experienced? You know, who got the better ring intelligence? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really break this down. A lot of the shit is siding with Canelo Alvarez. The only thing that really sides with Berlanga is size and youth. But size and youth, I don't think that's enough to defeat somebody like Canelo Alvarez, who has the experience, who has punching power, who's explosive, who's intelligent. You know what I mean? Can adjust. This man is a seasoned vet, and he's been at the top of the game for I don't know how long. You think Berlanga got more power? More power than who? Canelo? I mean, he should. He's a naturally bigger man, but you know, Canelo could definitely punch. He could definitely punch. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen Berlanga get dropped by dudes, and I've seen him get dropped in the amateurs. I've seen him get stopped in sparring by significantly smaller dudes like Erickson Lubin. So am I crazy for believing that Canelo might hurt him? Canelo could punch, bro. I'm telling you. Everybody that got in the ring with Canelo, they done felt this power. Trust me. And Canelo got one of the best chins in boxing. Straight like that. So if y'all talk about Berlanga is powerful and he could punch, and bro, there's been people that have made it to the decision with Edgar Berlanga that wasn't on the level of a Canelo Alvarez. So why am I going to put so much stock into Edgar Berlanga's power when I seen Damon Nicholson go to a decision with him? I seen Romer Alexis Angulo go to a decision with him. Neither one of them dudes are on Canelo's level. Neither one of them are as talented, experienced, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So if these lower level guys can make it to the distance with him, why can't Canelo? You feel what I'm saying? And I just feel like overall, Canelo done been in there with more dangerous guys. I feel like the Triple G that he fought, the first and second fight, was more dangerous than Edgar Berlanga. You feel me? It's just, I don't know, bro. Edgar don't give me enough reassurance. I haven't seen enough of him, and I've seen a lot of Canelo. So who am I going to have more faith in? The answer is obvious. You feel me? The answer is obvious. But anyways, let's get into the next subject, man, because this is just, another, thing that's unfortunate news. You feel what I'm saying? Let me stop sharing right here, get back to the screen real quick, and let's get into the next topic, man. This is one of my favorite fighters in the sport of boxing, and that is Jaron Boots Ennis. And, obviously, with being a champion, especially for the IBF, there's obligations that you have to fulfill, and one of them happens to be mandatories. You feel what I mean? And we've been talking about it lately. Exactly who's ranked in the IBF at welterweight, and we see that somebody that Jaron Ennis had beat in the past, Karen, happens to be number one on the rankings. We've seen that Conor Benn got moved up to number 3. However, Karen is still number 1, and the IBF is out here trying to push for that fight to happen. You see what I mean? And this is another tweet from Michael Benson. Let me go ahead and present it for y'all to see yourselves. I'm not making this up. This is all public information that I'm receiving on social media. And this is Michael Benson again. He says the IBF have now officially ordered Jaron Boots Ennis to defend his IBF welterweight world title in a rematch versus Karen. I'm not even about to pronounce his last name. That's why I just call him Karen or Kareem, whatever his name is. Next, Eddie Hearn has revealed. Hearn has also said they've made an offer to Mario Barrios for the WBC and IBF unification fight. So y'all hear it. Y'all hear it, man. The IBF has ordered Boots to defend his welterweight title against somebody that he's already beat. You see what I'm saying? Now, I don't even know what this is right here. I don't know what's going on with this dog right here. I don't know what's going on right here. That's a little weird situation. But I can't scroll up. So let me just go back. You feel what I mean? Let me actually stop the screen since I already read what was going on. So y'all see it, man. You know, Jaron Ennis has made it clear since he's gotten the IBF title that, you know, these dudes don't really got no excuses now not to fight him. And you know, he's looking to unify. He wants to become undisputed. He wants every belt in the 147-pound division. So that includes fights with Brian Norman Jr. This includes fights with Stanionis. This includes fights with Mario Barrios. You feel what I mean? And Eddie Hearn has made it clear that he has sent an offer over to Mario Barrios. And, you know, based off of that quote right there, I don't know if Eddie Hearn has said that Mario Barrios has denied or confirmed this offer. However, they're making the efforts to unify, but the IBF is hell-bent on Jaron Ennis rematching this dude, Karen. Now, let's look at Karen's box record, see exactly what he's done since coming up short against Jaron Ennis. You feel what I mean? Let me just pull up the information right here. Let's see exactly why the IBF is so hell-bent on this dude rematching Jaron Ennis. You feel what I mean? And this was Boots. This fight had taken place January 7th back in 2023. So it hasn't been that much time since then. You feel what I'm saying? So let's see what Karen has done. Now, Karen, since losing to Jaron Ennis, has ran off 3 victories. So he stopped somebody that was 29-7 out in Madrid. Then he went over to Germany in the last 2. And he beat an 18-1 and he beat a 13-2. I guess he became number 1 because that second to last fight that he had was for the IBF Intercontinental title. So I guess that title put him in position to become number 1 again. And, you know, it's not nothing really impressive. It's not like this dude beat any world beaters or anything like that to be worthy of an opportunity against Jaron Ennis again. But, you know, I'm going to just speak my opinion on this, man. And it's really disappointing in all honesty. You feel me? I feel like there's so many, you know, the welterweight division is already a dry division as of right now. You know, the superstars of the division have either retired, been inactive, or moved up in weight. You know what I mean? So it's just these young dudes that like are, you know, unproven in the division right now, looking to stamp their name and just come out to be the best so they could be somebody or they could become superstars at the weight. You feel what I mean? That's exactly what's going on right now. It's like the welterweight division is like at a rebuilding phase right now. So Jaron Ennis is looking to, you know, put some light on the welterweight division and, you know, get a new era of the welterweights popping. But, you know, the IBF is really insisting on this dude fighting Karen. Now, the reason why this is so disappointing to me is because we've already seen these dudes fight. And just based off of the first fight, man, it wasn't a competitive fight at all, man. We could go pull up the scorecards right here. Jaron Ennis won every minute, every second of every round. You know what I mean? It was scored 120-108 by all 3 judges. This man has not won a single round against Jaron Ennis. You know what I mean? He gave a whole lot of movement. You know, Boots wasn't, you know, anticipating that. You know, he had a little bit of difficulty, you know, trying to catch up to Karen and stuff like that and, you know, ultimately hurting him or stopping him. So a lot of people was like, oh, Boots got exposed, which was absolutely bullshit. You know what I mean? He did everything he needed to do to win. Boots wasn't in no desperate situations or, you know, needing to win rounds because he's down on the cards or anything like that. It was an outclassing. It was a shutout. Yeah, Coffee Plant. That's funny. I just said that. A 12-0 shutout. So you mean that I need to know the IBF's reasoning as to why Karen is being mandated to fight Boots at this particular time when they seen the first fight and know that fight wasn't competitive. And all he had to do was just beat some no names from in Spain and a couple fights in Germany. He's back in the mix for a world title shot. That don't even make sense, man. That fight makes 0 sense to me. You feel what I mean? I don't really understand the logic behind that, but it is what it is, man. The IBF be having some weird dudes in their rankings lately, man. Like they stripped, and I'm never the one to defend Canelo Alvarez. I'm not. I don't like to do that at all. But when they stripped him because he refused to face William Skoll, that's crazy, bro. Like, who the fuck is William Skoll, bro? Who is he to, you know, become the number 1 dude and you just be hell bent on him facing Canelo? And if Canelo don't fight William Skoll, y'all stripping him and y'all take the belt from him and y'all hand it to William Skoll or at least put it up for him to fight for it. What the fuck did he do to possibly get a Canelo Alvarez fight? That's what I'm confused about. You feel what I mean? I would have much rather seen somebody like Caleb Plant be mandated, because at least we know who the fuck he is. You know what I mean? We seen him with the IBF title. At least we know who he is. Don't nobody know who William Skull is? Anonymous says, I ain't gonna lie, the IBF be having some trash-ass mandos. That's a fact. It's almost like these spots is like for sale. And whoever the highest bidder is, they fighter gets that slot. That's what it feels like to me, because it's not like these dudes are beating anybody notable or beating any, high-level fighters to get this position. When I seen Earl Spence, I seen Earl Spence climb up to be the number one guy in the IBF. He beat the Chris Van Heerden's. He beat the Chris Algieri's. I've seen him beat what was that dude's name? Keith Thurman fought him too. He was from Italy. Leonard Bundu. I seen him beat these dudes. I seen his whole rise up, and he beat a couple former world champions. He did his thing to get to that ultimate spot where Kell Brook had nowhere else to run. These dudes are fighting overseas against literal nobodies. And all of a sudden, you in line to face one of the biggest stars in the sport of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, William Skull. Karen beat one dude in Spain with a lopsided record. Then you beat two nobodies out in Germany. All of a sudden, you about to fight somebody that you just got smoked by last year, Jaron Ennis. Come on, man. This shit don't really make any sense, man. I'm not rocking with this, bro. This is just more disappointing news, and it's completely unnecessary. A Singh says can't boost petition. I don't know exactly how that goes. I never really heard of a fighter petitioning against a mandatory. I don't know exactly how that goes. You might know more than I do in that situation, but I think the best thing that he can honestly do is give Karen some step aside money while he goes to fight somebody else. That's all I really heard about, step aside bread. I've seen fighters do it multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Boxer Phil says, you petition, you get stripped. Shit. Listen, I don't know how that go, but all I know is, bro, it's not the fight that we want to see. There's plenty of more credible fights that could be made at welterweight, bro. I would rather see Conor Benn. It don't even gotta be a unification fight. If he goes and he fights Conor Benn, who's ranked number 3 in the IBF, I would be more satisfied with that. In all honesty, like if we keeping it real, I would like to see Karen fight Conor Benn for the mandatory spot. That's what I would like to see. How about we see Karen fight Conor Benn, and whoever wins, they get next against Jaron Ennis. Meanwhile, Jaron Ennis could go unify real quick. You know what I mean? Try to get a Barrios fight or something going. Because these dudes they not worthy of the opportunity, man. Karen is not worthy of the opportunity, bro. If he would have had a competitive fight with Booster, actually picked up 3-4 rounds, that was like, all right, it was a nice competitive fight last time. They run it back, it's cool. Bro, this fight was not close, man. He did not win a single round. He had 108 points, 12 times 9. That's 108. He had 9 for 12 rounds straight. Come on, man. This dude got outclassed. He got smoked on them scorecards. And y'all trying to tell me that he's in position to fight Boots again? That's ridiculous, man. Coffee Plant said, Ben posted saying he with it. I mean, I'm sure he is. Listen, man, I was speaking about it yesterday. The man can't fight in the UK. You feel what I mean? The only place he can really fight in is the US. You feel me? So he got no choice but to be optimistic about a Jaron Ennis fight. That's the biggest fight he can make right now. That's the most money he could make right now. This ain't like the UK where he can just go fight a turkey and put asses in seats and get a nice check. Nah, the US don't know you like that. So if you want to get some bread, you're going to have to fight somebody credible. You in a tough spot. You know what I'm saying? A Sink says, I'd rather see Boots give Speedy a shot. I would be more happy with that too. I think Rashidi better than Karen. Honestly, I think Rashidi Ellis is better than Karen. I would like to see Conor Benn fight Karen, and whoever wins, then they could be the mandatory for Jaron Ennis. You feel me? I think that'll make more sense. I don't know if Karen should just jump straight into a world title bout right now. I don't think he's deserving of it. He got to show me something. Conor Benn is somebody that I know of that I've been watching. He's a notable guy in the welterweight division. Go ahead and beat him. You know what I mean? And then you could get the respect necessary to rematch Jaron Ennis. I don't know if you're capable of even making a fight competitive with Jaron Ennis. What are you going to do different that's going to make this fight more competitive? You did everything you could, and you was outmatched. You were outsmarted. Totally different levels, man. Has Speedy fought since the Vila loss? I don't believe he's had professionally, but I seen Rashidi Ellis was on Team Combat League, which is when they team up and cities go against other cities and they only fight one round apiece. And whoever packs up the most points, that team wins. I think Rashidi Ellis just been staying active in the Team Combat League, honestly. That's what I think was going on with him. Let me check right here to see if has Rashidi Ellis fought since then. Let me see. Where is he at? It was the fight. I think it was this event right here. Yeah, Rashidi hasn't fought since Romain Vila, but he been staying sharp on the Team Combat League. I mean, he did pretty good at Team Combat League too. He was 11-1. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, man. So yeah, there's a lot more fights that I would rather see. You know what I mean? He said Boots needs to get Turkey involved for that step aside money. Well, I don't know if he necessarily needs Turkey to give somebody some step aside money, but what I do know is he definitely gonna need Turkey Al-Sheikh to make these big fights happen. You feel what I'm saying? Because these dudes not gonna fight Boots unless there's a substantial amount of money that they cannot refuse. You know what I mean? And Turkey might have to be the one to do it. Like, all right, man, y'all gonna fight in my card at Saudi Arabia. Boots and Bozy, they're gonna have to take that trip over there, man. I'm telling you, that's the only way. They're gonna have to put up a substantial amount of money to even think about getting in the ring with Boots because they understand that they're at a disadvantage, and there's a strong likelihood they may come out with an L. So before they come out with that L, they need a nice check. You want this, you want this L on my record? Well, it's gonna cost you. You want me to take this much of a risk? Well, it's gonna cost you. You feel me? So that's just what I think. Let me see. That's what happens when you don't focus on your fight. Remember, Ellis was in Boots' face talking crazy at the press conference. Well, he definitely wasn't in Boots' face. I don't recall that. I do recall him getting offended by Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? They had their little back and forth, but I definitely don't remember him getting in Boots' face. I don't think Boots would really accept that. You know what I mean? But I get what you're talking about, though, for sure. I remember they had their little back and forth, and I think Boots was telling him, like, you mad type shit. So, yeah, I recall that. But, I think Rashidi was focused. I just think that he couldn't deal with Romain Vila's pressure. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have the power necessary to get Romain's respect. You know what I mean? I think he started to fatigue from the pressure from Romain Vila because he was nonstop aggression. You know what I mean? And I think that, Romain started to pick up some rounds, and I think them knockdowns cost him. I don't know how many knockdowns was it? Let me see. I think them knockdowns definitely cost him, though. Let me see something. It's not showing me, but yeah. Them knockdowns definitely cost him. For sure. And that's what decided the fight. Oscar De La Pasa, you drawing. He was like, both Rashidi and Ronald Ellis bums. PBC dropped them. Shit. That boy don't like them Rashidi brothers. He don't like them Ellis brothers, huh? Oh, it was 3 knockdowns? Shit, well, that's 6 rounds. For real. Shit, that's a tough one. Yeah, that's definitely a tough one. Yeah, that cost him for real. But I heard Romain Vila's coming back on that Canelo undercard, so I'm happy to see him back. And I hope that he comes back himself. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope to see. Cause Romaine is a gangster, bro. I'm trying to tell you that dude from Venezuela, Sanson be having all killers, bro. All killers. I'm telling you. We're saying that he's from Venezuela. Hold on. Says he's from Venezuela, but his nationality is Colombian. I mean, listen, regardless, I hope he comes back, like himself, because he's an exciting fighter in the division, man. Welterweight, you need all the exciting fighters that he could get. Take on Tank and Raymond Ford beef. I had no idea that they had any type of problems if they did. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know what to think about that. I think that was a dude that I debated on his channel not too long ago. He put out a video like, praising Tank or whatever, and whatever the case was. And I think Raymond Ford told him he was dick eating. And, Tank had his little response about it. You know what I mean? But I didn't hear it. I didn't see what Romain Villa said next. I mean, shit, damn, I'm all over the place. I don't know what Tank said next. I don't know what Raymond Ford said next. But yeah, man. I don't really think nothing of it. It's not like they're gonna fight each other. You feel me? It's not like they're gonna fight each other or anything like that. So, it is what it is. Yeah. So it is what it is. Anonymous said, Venezuela got some killers. Guess who else is from Venezuela? Ismael Barroso, my old head. The grandpop of the boxing game. Yeah. They definitely do got some good fighters over there, man. That's what's up, bro. That's gangster shit. But yeah, man. So, disappointed with the Jaron, Ennis, and Karen announcement. You feel what I'm saying? Don't really know what to really think about that. But if that's what they're going to push, then, it's going to be another fight where, Karen is not going to really look to take any type of chances. You know what I mean? Boo's going to be chasing him around the ring while he's not creating any offense at all. Then it might be another 120, 108 scorecard type situation. I don't see what Karen does in the rematch that'll make this fight competitive with Boots. He has not fought anybody credible since his loss to Boots to make me think that he has some sort of chance or he's worthy of an IBF title shot. But it is what it is, man. The IBF got their own little system. They got shit going on. I don't know how they determine who's the mandatory and who's not. Like I said, Conor Benn, Karen fight each other for that mandatory slot. You know what I mean? Whoever wins, they could have a strong argument for being Boots' next mandatory. You know what I mean? His next opponent. You feel me? So it is what it is. So let's get into the next topic, man, because this is something that I had seen as well. And this is pretty exciting news because, I rock with Gervonta Davis, you know what I mean? Despite what people might believe, I do rock with Gervonta Davis, and whenever he does fight, I'm definitely tuned in no matter what I'm doing because, he's one of the most popular fighters in the sport, and I love his style, man. You know what I'm saying? I love his style. I like what he brings to the table, and all his fights are exciting because he always has some sort of sensational knockouts, man. It's like he bound to put you on a highlight reel at any time. So, I rock with it. You feel me? So let me get back to the Michael Benson page, and let's see exactly what's making people believe that Tank may return on November 2nd. You feel what I'm saying? Let's get back to it. And this is something from Michael Benson. I don't know how he got this information, but regardless, it's really good to know. They're trying to play it low key, but I guess the information is coming out. And the information that is coming out, let me see. Yeah, this is it right here. This is according to Michael Benson. He says TGB Promotions, the promoters who stage most of Heyman's PBC events, have now reserved November 2nd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, prompting speculation this could be the date and venue for Gervonta Davis's next fight. You see what I mean? And if you look at the screenshot right here, it says when Saturday, November 2nd from 2:30 to 10 p.m. T-Mobile Arena. TGB Promotion will promote a professional boxing event at T-Mobile Arena. You see what I mean? So I don't know exactly where they got this information from. I'm assuming this might have came off of the T-Mobile Arena's website. I'm assuming. You know what I mean? But regardless, it seems like that's what TGB is going to do next, man. It seems like they just locked in a date for Gervonta Davis to possibly fight on. There was already a lot of speculation that Tank was going to come back in November or at least later on this year. So it makes a lot of sense that, you know, that date will be that date will be that. You know what I mean? It makes sense that Tank will come back at that specific time. You know what I mean? It's Las Vegas, the T-Mobile Arena. You know what I mean? That's a huge setting. You know what I mean? That's a good place to stage a big fight. So don't be surprised if Gervonta Davis comes out with some information saying that he's fighting November 2nd, going up against, you know, a Mexican opponent. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be surprised if that's what it is, man. Shout out to my boy Singh. He says, Mazuma, not sure if this is true or not, but reports say Eddie Hearn has made a substantial offer to Barrios to fight Boots next in the unification. Well, Michael Benson had reported that. I don't know if you came in a little late, but I spoke on that. He was saying how Karen is Boots mandatory. You know what I'm saying? The IBF has mandated Boots to fight Karen again. And, you know, they made a strong offer to Mario Barrios for a unification fight for the IBF and the WBC. You feel what I mean? And like I said, you know, I would love to see that fight, any unification fight for Boots in the welterweight division. I would love to see. I would like to see him in there with Brian Norman, Barrios, or Stanionis. So, you know, I like to see that Eddie Hearn is actually looking to do what, you know, Boots is on a mission to complete. You know what I mean? He's trying to satisfy Boots' needs. You know what I mean? If Boots wants to unify, Eddie Hearn out here working to try to make that shit happen. But, you know, I don't know if Barrios is going to be the one to accept that because, you know, he got people that, you know, he has that he compensates to run his business for him. And, you know, PBC, you know, I'm sure that if the money is significant, if it's a good amount of money, they'll step out of their box to make that fight happen. However, considering the fact that Boots is no longer working with PBC, he's over with Eddie Hearn and Riyadh season, and PBC happens to be the only promotional network or whatever you want to call it that isn't all in with Riyadh season. I don't know if that's going to be something that's going to be done next. You know what I mean? They might just turn that down and, you know, unify with Stanionis. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be more of a realistic situation because then and there, it'll be an in-house fight. You know, as far as I'm concerned, Stanionis is a PBC fighter. Mario Barrios is a PBC fighter. So on some real shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Stanionis and Barrios fight on that November 2nd card. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they fight on Boots undercard for unification. You know what I'm saying? And whoever wins that will have 2 belts, and then they could go on and they could, you know, probably fight, you know, Boots after that for more money. You know what I mean? Because their main objective is to make the most money possible, right? So if they have a unified champion on their side, you know, Boots, you know, only has 1 title, they can make a stronger case for getting more money because it's like, yo, y'all gonna have to come respectable with the bag because I'm unified champion in this division. So if y'all want to fight for these other 2 belts, y'all got to compensate me well. You know what I'm saying? Them belts give you bargaining power. So if you have multiple, you know what I mean, they got to respect you as a unified champion and come with a respectable amount of money. Are they going, let's say they offering them $2 million to fight Boots. Let's say that. They could be like, oh, that's not enough. They could come unify and come back and request $4 million, $3 million, whatever the situation is. Those belts bring you more power. Them belts bring you more money. You know what I mean? They give you more star power, especially when you negotiating for a unification fight. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the situation, if that were to be the thing that happens. I would rather see Boots fight Barrios, but, you know, how the way the PBC does business, they'll probably give Barrios to Stanionis before they give him the Boots right away. You know what I'm saying? If they give Barrios the Boots fight, it'll be, you know what I mean, once they reach the end. You feel me? So that's my overall take on the situation, man. You know what I mean? Going back to the Gervonta Davis situation, I hope that is Gervonta Davis's fight date. And if he does fight on November 2nd, man, I'm highly interested in exactly who he's going to pick as his opponent next. You know, we was really pushing for the Shakur Stevenson fight, but for some reason, you know, that doesn't seem like that's something they really interested at this point in time. You know, I just think they want to keep building their name up, keep getting these wins against these certain, you know, type of dudes. And, you know, he has a 6 or 7 fight deal. He might be pushing Shakur all the way to the last fight, pushing him back all the way to the last fight. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But, you know, I pretty much covered every topic that was on this live as of right now, man. I spoke about the disappointing possibility of Shakur fighting Joe Cordina. More disappointing news with Karen being Boots' mandatory. You know, after we already done seen Boots smoke Karen. And, you know, Gervonta Davis possibly returning November 2nd out the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. So we got 15 people in the building. I appreciate everybody that's been coming through and showing love. You feel what I mean? If y'all appreciate the content, I mean, y'all hit the like button. You feel what I mean? And I think Mike Fox just reached out to me right now. So, I mean, I'm going to try to see if I could bring him on before I get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Let me see something real quick. Let me try to send him over this link. Let me try to send him over this link. Shout out to everybody that's in the building right now, man. I just sent them over my link right now. Rouse with a great question. He says, "You think Boots stops Karen in the second fight?" I think he does, man. I think Boots, you know, I think he learned from that situation. I think he's a true student of the game, and because of that, I'm sure he's worked on cutting off the ring and, you know, finding ways to, you know, pin fighters to certain, you know, because there's a science behind walking your opponent to certain areas and, you know, putting them in certain places where they're not able to, you know, get away from. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. I just put the StreamYard link up right now. See if my boy Mike could join. You know what I mean? And we just gonna go from there. But I do, you know, to answer your question, Rob, I think he can stop, you know, Karen this time. You know what I mean? I think that situation made him better. I'm sure he went back to the lab and polished up on some things. And, you know, I think that the outcome will be different. You know what I mean? I think the outcome will be totally different. I think that was the first time that somebody gave Boots that type of trouble in terms of movement. You know what I mean? So if he, you know, is a true student like I believe he is, I'm sure he went back to the lab and just worked on, you know, ways to, you know, tighten up in that area. You know what I mean? Nobody's a perfect fighter, bro. You know what I mean? Nobody's a perfect fighter. There's always something to work on. You never stop learning. So I'm sure Boots learned from that situation and it made him a more dangerous fighter. But if that fight does happen, then we'll see. Hopefully he gets a stoppage. Just to show the IBF, like, man, y'all wasting my time. You feel me? Let me see something. You said send the StreamYard link. Let me see. Try to send that shit over to him right now. Let me see. Try to send that shit over to him right now. Let me see. Try to send that shit over to him right now. Let me see. All right, let's see if he pick up that link real quick. We just gonna talk about what we just discussed and go from there. Let's see if he can get on. In the meantime, man, y'all can ask questions, man, whatever y'all want to speak on. You feel what I'm saying? See what y'all want to speak on. It's crazy, and Glizzy says Tank just does what Tank does. That's sad, bro. You know what I mean? That we just okay with that. You know what I mean? Hold up. I think my boy in the building. Yo,
What's up with you?
you can hear me?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yo, listen, man. I know this probably late hours for you, so I appreciate you coming through and chopping it up with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, no problem, bro.
What you got going on, man? Tell me what's good. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I know. I just fought back in July 20th. A local card back at home in Maryland. So we
Yeah,
finally ended a 2-year wait.
yeah. I was actually about to get into that 'cause I'm looking at your box rec right now. You defeated Donald Ward. How was that? How was that? How because was that the longest layoff of your career?
Yeah, definitely. I ain't never been had to sit down for 2 years. That's something I wouldn't want to ever have to do again. But it was just great. Like I said, we was able to shake the rust off. So we back active, and I should be fighting again in November.
Oh, okay. Yeah, November seems like a real popular date right now. We were just talking about Gervonta possibly coming back in that time frame. So it's good that you got that rust off, man, because inactivity kills, and I don't really like to see young fighters waiting that long to get their opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, good to see you back in the mix, man. So I was just speaking about some things, man. I just wanted to go over these topics with you because I understand just as well as you're a boxer, you do your commentating on the side too. You're a knowledgeable dude. You experienced. You got what 27 fights now in your career, so
Yeah.
you done been around enough to know exactly what's going on and speak your mind on it knowledgeably. So what I wanted to speak about was the possibility. Shakur Stevenson got a lot going on right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Who he gonna sign with, if he's gonna sign with anybody at all. It seems like, based off of what Shakur Stevenson is saying and the rumors that circulating, that he may possibly fight Joe Cordina. What do you think of that? What do you think of that fight if it were to come together?
Um, I mean, if that fight would have come together, I think it would kind of be obvious what his next move is, and that would be signing with Eddie Hearn. And
Mm.
I think I think that's the biggest thing. He'll sign. He'll be the next super talent that inks a deal with Eddie Hearn. And I think a fight with Joe Cordina that might happen. That could potentially happen actually overseas if Shakur don't mind traveling, and then the possibility of like maybe Tank or something like that can happen. I think Eddie Hearn is willing to work with PBC he's willing to work with PBC, and they'll try to get it together, especially if they got Turkey Al Sheik getting involved and everything. Um, so I think that could be the platform, the next platform for him.
Okay, since you're a professional fighter yourself, man, I felt like I've heard of like Saudi Arabia being involved in certain fights, like Anthony Joshua a while back and stuff like that. But now it seems like they just taking over the boxing world by storm. Turkey Al Sheik and them. What do you think about Turkey Al Sheik and exactly what he got going on? What you think of his events and what you've seen so far? What you think about it?
Well, man, I mean, I like the idea. Some of the like that card he put together that Terrence was on. That was a good. I think that was a good card on paper. Bacoli versus Anderson, Rayo versus Cruz, um, Miller and Andy Ruiz. I like that. And remember, it was supposed to have Virgil and Tim Zoo fighting each other too. So I like that he's getting these dudes to come to like what's sort of like neutral ground, and ain't no more who's on this side of the street, who's on that side of the street. What I don't like is rap concerts in the middle of boxing events, though, man. That's the only thing. I like Eminem, but like if you can't come rap at a boxing event, if we can't come fight at a rap concert.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was my criticism too. And then they had like the John where it's like, oh, somebody won a car in the crowd, and then they was just holding that up. And
Yeah, I don't even mind that much. You want to give him back my car, you give him back my car. But like,
Bro, but it was like 12:30 in the morning, bro. I'm like, come on, dog. Like,
I mean, that could have went by, but like given Eminem getting what about a half hour on the job. I took a shower so I could wait so I could make sure I stayed up. You know what I'm saying? That was getting late. Damn,
That's funny. Yeah, that was probably my only criticism, but I think there was more pros than cons for real, for sure.
Nah, me too, definitely. I think, like I said, that was a really good card, man. Had some upsets, had some drama. You know what I'm saying? It was a good show. Good fights that were made just off of just like he says he'll fight, he says he'll fight. We'll put him here. They can both meet here.
Right. So I'm glad you brought up because I was actually going to ask you this. You sparred Tim Tszyu to get ready for Sebastian Fundora, right?
Yeah.
So, man, I would have loved to have seen just based off of that last fight that Virgil Ortiz just had with Bohachuk. Man, I would have loved to have seen Virgil and Tim Tszyu go at it, man. Style wise, hands down, that has potential to be fight of the year. How do you think that fight would have panned out? You know what I mean? Because the only thing that had stopped it was the cut on his head. So if they were to fight, what do you think would have happened?
Honestly, I think it would have been a bit of a mirror match, just in the sense they both fight with the high guard. They both trying to come forward. From I sparred Tim, I can tell you he punches pretty hard. From what I hear, Virgil punches pretty hard, but I think it would have been a mirror match, and whoever would have took a step backwards first would have lost. But what I will say is Virgil did show an ability to box off the back foot against Bohachuk. He's shooting his jab and everything. And I mean, so looking at it now, it's a few different layers to Virgil's game. Everybody's used to seeing him just walk forward and walk through everybody. So that also says to me that like at 154, Virgil is still very talented, but at welterweight, it seems like he was always a lot bigger than his opponents, and I think that balanced out a bit because Sergey Bohachuk is like 6 feet, maybe 6'1", and he throws a good punch himself, and it made Virgil have to dig more. So I think 154, Virgil. I mean, I think he for the guys he's up in line against next, he got some tightening up to do, but that also was the most rounds he got in a long time.
A very long time. His last 2 fights were one round apiece.
Right.
So he definitely needed that, and I think that'll make him a better fighter. I think the only thing that Virgil is really lacking in reality is like maturity, experience. You know what I mean? Just getting those rounds in. You know what I mean? But he definitely showed a new layer to his game. I liked how the way he was boxing, man. The jab, he was turning Bohachuk and all that, man. I wish I'd have seen that more consistently throughout the rounds. He probably would have had an easier time, but I think he'll learn from that. Implement that more into his style, especially fighting these bigger dudes.
Yeah. I mean, that's just one of the things like I guess at that weight class and at that level, it was one of those things that he kind of had to do. I mean, like I said, at 47, Virgil was he was a tank. He was kind of a tank. He was coming forward behind. I mean, still was behind his jab and everything. But he's throwing heat. He's throwing heat, and everybody wilted to his pressure. I think he learned now, like, man, like you're a big. I know for a fact Virgil's a big guy. I shook hands with him outside the camp. You know what I'm saying? And I seen him, and he was big. Didn't have anything on the counter yet, but he was still solid. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't chubby at all. He was solid, and I'm like, okay, this is a big welterweight. Yeah. And then he gets down. But now at 154, where his walk around weight might be, the guys will come back to the ring at we about the same size, cuz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that shit even out just a little bit more. I'm glad you brought up the 147 division because there's a lot that's going on with that weight class as well, and that happens to be your weight class. You're still at 47, right?
Yeah. I made 47. Actually, I came in at 146 and some change, so I'm You know,
Yeah,
I can still make 147. And it was the first time in 2 years, so the cut was a little harder than it normally is. But now that I'm back, my body's back moving.
yeah. Your
You know,
body used to
yeah,
it'll
yeah,
adjust to coming back down, and yeah,
yeah,
that's
and I can
good.
get and 46. Yeah, so I still be at 47 for some time.
Is that a slept on thing? A lot of people talk about like feeling rusty in the ring, but can the inactivity also, hinder your ability to make weight or make the weight cuts harder because you just haven't cut in such a long time?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes if you out of practice, like I follow the same system I always follow, but I mean, it just like because your body kind of like even when you're cutting weight regularly, like and you're doing it like let's see 2 or 3 times a year, you never know when your body might just kind of change on you and kind of like lock up and like now my body's holding on to everything. Um, so with it being for the first time in 2 years, I got to a certain point where my body's kind of fighting against it. Like hold on, man. Like we ain't had to do this in a while. This ain't feeling normal. But I did everything I was supposed to do. I did it the right way, and the weight still came off. I made the weight I had with a little bit to spare. So um,
Yeah.
yeah, but that time away, you got to keep that in practice. Same way you want to stay in the ring and fight and stuff. Like cutting weight is
Mhm.
something you gotta know how to do, and you can learn more about it each time, each go around, and learn more about your body personally each go around. So yeah, no, that's a thing. That's definitely a thing.
Good. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that, so that's interesting. So 147, man, a lot of things is going on. Brian Norman just got elevated to the full status champion. Barrios got the WBC. Stanionis got the WBA. Boots, the IBF. But apparently it seems like I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his last name, man. But the bull Karen, the one
Uh
that
huh.
had beat previously, it seems
Yeah.
like the IBF is mandating him to run that rematch back with him. Do you feel like that rematch is necessary? What's your overall take on that? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm kind of disappointed that they're like mandating this.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the greatest fight to mandate. I mean, we seen it once. We already seen it once already. But I mean, if from what I heard, it's actually not the case. But if we're operating off of if we're
Okay.
operating off it is. The one thing I'll say about that fight is that was the one fight that Boost had that turned people off to him, and
Mhm.
just because of Karen's style, a lot of lateral movement wasn't really. I don't think it was something that Boost had seen in a long time, and I think with him fighting for the interim belt on a pay-per-view co-main event, Tank Davis undercard and everything, I think the moment might have over had him a little overly excited, so he didn't perform the way he would. He didn't perform the way he's supposed to perform, but there's growth and there's time for growth and maturity. If they were to fight again, Boost will perform much better. I mean, but
Mhm.
Karen would also have time to make his adjustments. But I think we get a better performance by Boots, and he probably still win it.
Cool, cool, cool. Do you think that was the case with Jaron Ennis in his last fight with Evanescence being overly excited? Because it seemed like he went for it right away. Or do you just think that's Boots where he just gets straight into the action?
Um, well, he don't like I said he don't take too long to get active. But like, I think it's just. I mean, I think that was another moment too where though he packed out the Wells Fargo Center. I honestly didn't expect that. Like, I didn't know Philly was going to show up like that. And that's a shout out to y'all for like getting behind one of y'all fighters when you seen.
Hmm.
I mean, he brings it. He captures the world title. He brings a big fight to the area. And normally the big fights were at the Leocora Center. I had a few. I've been to that. I've been there a few times. When Danny fought Sandbog and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
he's at the Wells Fargo Center. That's where the Sixers play, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's a big arena, and he put a lot of extra
21,000.
seats. Yeah, he
It
put
fits
a lot of extras
21,000.
in seats. It lets you know that man got some type of star power. And I
Yeah.
mean, but in moments like that, when you at first time being at home in a long time, like he's fought close to home, but being at home where like everybody can pull up, more family members can pull up and everything. Um, Moments like that. I mean, he's still young. It's a lot to process. You know what I mean? And you want to perform. You don't want to underperform, but sometimes, in wanting to do a lot, you end up. Sometimes you do too much. But he got the stoppage. He still got his belt, and he put on for a city. So there's not too much bad you can really say about it.
Oh yeah, definitely more pros than cons. And I was talking to Bo, and I was like, "Yo, y'all really showed that like y'all really started from the bottom and built your way up to the biggest stage." Because I remember when he fought at the Sugar House Casino,
Yeah, I
then he
fought that one.
moved up, and then he fought Raymond Serrano at the 2300. He fought at the
Yeah,
2300 a couple times, but he fought on Showtime at the 2300, and then he
yeah,
moves on to the Wells Fargo. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that was dope to see, bro. That was really dope
Yeah,
to
no,
see.
that was definitely like everybody looking so and that makes for a great story when he's um talking up the next people, and he can tell people like, look, man, this is these little small arenas y'all think they're small, and you want to go here, bro. I started here like y'all started here, and I mean that's something that's going to make Boots more relatable to just to fight fans, up and coming fighters. Like it's a kid in my gym. He's a big Boots fan. He's a really big Boots fan. I wanted to last time I was in Philly, I wanted to get Boots to send him a message or something, just let him know appreciate and everything. But he had he was like Boots be wrapping hands and working mitts like he was
He
yeah.
really a
So
coach.
yeah, so I was at the live casino. Y'all got up there. He's out there. Like I got my coach here. I'm working. I'm like, oh yeah, nah,
Mhm.
do your thing, bro.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So, the last thing I want to touch up on before I start talking about what you got going on is Gervonta Davis. Uh, obviously he just came off a highlight reel knockout against Frank Martin. He did him dirty. Now they're saying that he may possibly, and this is according to TGB Promotion, they just reserved the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for November 2nd. A lot of people speculating that's Gervonta Davis's comeback fight, like his return back to boxing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a couple of his potential opponents have been shot down. They were talking about possibly Isaac Cruz rematch, but obviously he came up short against Rayo. Um, William Cepeda, he might be caught up in Riyadh season and what they got going on since De La Hoya's working with him now. If you and you've worked with Gervonta Davis, you've worked with him as well. What do you think? If you really had to put your money on it, who do you think is the next possible opponent for Gervonta Davis?
I think the next possible opponent, I was saying this a little earlier, because you got to have a little bit of, they would have to have a little bit of credentials, and since he just secured a world title over a previous opponent that Tank also beat, I think Rayo is the next could potentially be the next one in line. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He has a belt. Tank could go for another belt at 140. He could go back up to 140. Um, that'd be his second belt. That'd be the second belt he was to win there. And Mexicans are gonna come out for Rayo. People are gonna come out for Tank. Tank fights are more than just fights now. They're events. People pack up
Yeah.
like yo, look, I heard Tank fighting this date, so I'm gonna fly to Vegas, make a weekend of it. I'm gonna get some tickets, take my little jump with me, and you know what I'm saying, we're gonna have a fun weekend in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So I think Rayo is the he just, like I said, the biggest fight of his career. Won a world title. I think it makes the most sense. Somebody mentioned Edwin De Los Santos, but um, De Los Santos was just his last fight was Shakur, right? So he lost. So he's coming off a loss. That's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna have the same power to sell. You know what I'm saying? You can
Yeah.
sell Rayo because everybody knows Rayo's a big puncher, like Tank's a big puncher. Um, I don't think Rayo's the boxer that Tank is, but they can say he gets to say, look, I knock Bambas out too. So if I catch him, and then there's always going to be that. There's always going to be that. Like, and
Yeah.
like I say, you're going to bring the Mexicans out, and they put a good undercard on that joint. Yeah, you're gonna have a fun night, fun weekend in Vegas.
Yeah, I think Rayo has the strongest case right now amongst all
Yeah,
like the
world champion. He gets to say, "Yo, look, I won a belt, and I beat the same dude he beat." You know what I mean? It was a split decision, but a W is a W. I wouldn't. If you're not gonna fight, Esau Cruz again, your next fight should be a tank. Like, yo, I earned a world title. You win belts to get in big. You win belts so you can start fighting for bigger money.
Yeah, that's a fact. So, you at the 147 division, you just made your comeback fight off of a 2-year layoff. You say you fighting in November. What's your, and that's later on towards this year, right? So, hopefully everything goes well with your next fight. You know what I mean? All that good stuff. What's your plan from now on? Like, what part of your career you feel like you're in right now? And what is it that you looking to accomplish in 2025?
Yeah, so 2024, I think it's going to be another solid opponent. Another one to kind of make sure we get any remaining rust off, anything like that. After that, come 2025, I would like to be, my plan. I would like to be in fights that'll get me back into the rankings. Like I figure I'll have to kind of take a scenic route up to another opportunity at a world title. So I'm thinking, we fight this fight. We get into 2025. We focus on getting back into the rankings, and then, if we're lucky by the end of 2025, we could be talking about a eliminator or mandatory position, something like that. We gotta have a big 2025 to do that, but it's not impossible. I'm not like after this next fight, I'm ready to go up against anybody. I wouldn't mind fighting a guy like Alexis Rocha. He's just coming off a win. He fought the night before I did. I wouldn't mind fighting him. He's got a name. Anybody I see. I was just looking at the rankings the other day. I can't remember everybody I saw, but I saw some noteworthy names. I'm like, man, these are the jumps that get me going forward or get me going up. So we can get any of those probably. We can get back in the rankings, get close, try to get to top 10, and then we'll make a play. We'll make a play for whichever sanctioning body have me.
Right. I mean, listen, man, you young, 28 years old. You got a good amount of fights on you. You was very busy prior to that too. I remember you was like on every card that we was on.
Yeah.
You was on. I felt like Philly was like your hometown at one point. You was just racking them up.
I loved fighting in Philly too, man. I love coming up to Philly. I like coming to watch fights in Philly too, man. Shout out to you and shout out to my man Jamil from YSM and everything, man. Y'all always show love and just to fight, just like the club shows they're of a great quality. Y'all treat boxing at every level like this is all of this is important.
Yeah, I swear that I've seen the fights that I've seen and like club fights have been like some of the best fights I've seen in my life.
Man, I tell people all the time. Like, if you don't, if you
remember Kermit Cintron and Brunson? Were you there for that?
Which one?
Brunson and Kermit Cintron.
Nah, but I saw it on it was on Facebook Live. I watched that. That was a hell of a fight.
Oh my god, bro! The building was like literally shaking, bro. The arena, so crazy. That was one of the best fights I've seen in my life. But no, man, listen, man, I ain't gonna keep you too long because I gotta go to sleep as well. I know I'm a night owl, like you said, but I gotta get some rest too. You know what I mean? I appreciate you coming on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to having you on the channel in the future. Yeah, I mean,
sure. I'll definitely be back, man. I totally forgot about the 10 o'clock time we set. That's my bad.
Nah, it's cool, man. Listen, when you got you an opponent, you know what I mean? Because it say TBA right here on your box rec. So, I'm assuming you don't have anybody yet.
No. We talk. We working on something. We're working on something now. As soon as I find out something, as soon as I find out something, it'll probably pop up there anyway. So, you know what I mean. But yeah, we can definitely rap again. A lot of things gonna happen in between then and now in the boxing world, and then we can talk about the next opponent too.
All right, bet. Yeah, as soon as you get your opponent locked in or whatever, and we get closer to your fight, we definitely look, man. I have I got a good following on here, so we'll get the word out there for sure, man. I just appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with me, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man. It's good to hear from you, man. You looking good, bro.
Absolutely. I'll see you soon, man. I'm gonna catch up to you at one of these events, man, for sure.
No, for sure.
All right, bro. You have a blessed night, man.
You do the same.
All right, thanks. So that's my guy Mike Fox right there, man. Listen, talented. Uh I don't know. I think the dude got to be at least 6'4". 6'4". He was fighting as low as 140 pounds, went up to 147. Y'all probably done seen the man fight before. He's fought some credible names. I believe he fought Ergashev, Igis Kaviaskis. You know what I'm saying? Lucas. Who else he fought? Luke Santa Maria. You know what I'm saying? He done fought some credible dudes, man. Done been in there and even beat a gold medalist. You know what I mean? I believe this dude right here, the one that he had beat, he's a gold medalist. You feel what I'm saying? So this dude ain't nobody to play with. You feel what I mean? Mike Fox definitely has a future in the sport of boxing. He's going to be a tough style for a lot of these dudes. And I ain't going to lie to you neither, man. No, he actually won a silver medal. No. He won a gold medal in the Rio Olympics, man. So, yeah, Mike not nobody to play with, man. He's a hell of a boxer, very disciplined dude. Seen him fight plenty of times. And he the one who got robbed really bad against Gabriel Maestre, man. That was one of the biggest robberies that I had seen in boxing. You know what I mean? It hurt to even see that. Man, he cooked Maestre, gave him a knockdown, was just boxing the shit out of him, had one of the best performances of his career, and they took it away from him. You feel what I'm saying? So, he has a lot of potential. He's still young. I was surprised he was that young when I had looked at it. This man's 28 years old, and he already has the amount of fights that he has. And, he has a brother that boxes as well, Alantez Fox, and he fought guys like Demetrius Andrade. And, you know what I mean? The list goes on and on and on. So these dudes is definitely about their craft. He puts in a lot of work. He beat Chop Chop. I remember watching that on TV. You know what I'm saying? I remember he beat DeMarcus Corley on TV. I was watching it live. So he definitely been around the block, man. This dude, he's a problem. And, with the welterweight division opening up right now, this is the perfect opportunity for him to come through and actually do something. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to my boy, Mike Fox. It's literally right there. K7 is right here on my screen. Michael Fox, Mykal Fox, Fox. So just be on the lookout for him, man. He's one of the nicest dudes that I've met in the sport of boxing. Always been nice to me and my father and stuff like that. He got a good team. You feel what I mean? So I always wanted to bring him on because he's a real knowledgeable dude as well. And that's what I'm looking for at this point. I want to talk to other knowledgeable people. The nation. You know what I mean? We knowledgeable people on here. You know what I mean? So we don't really want to get into all the ignorance and back and forth arguing, man. It's either we gonna talk this good boxing talk or we just not gonna do it at all. You know what I mean? So I think who have I brought? I brought Bomac, Bradman, Greg Hackett, and now I brought Mike Fox, man. So I'm giving you, top tier boxing trainers. Bradman got Caleb Plant, J-Rod, Karan Davis. You know what I mean? We got Bomac. We don't need to speak on who he got because he's one of the best trainers in the world. And we just gonna keep it going, man. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love, man. I'm gonna take my ass to bed because I am a tired man. And I got my son in the other room. You feel what I mean? So I'm about to just lay over with my son. I appreciate you guys coming through and showing love. I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all hit the like, y'all hit the subscribe button on the way out. You feel what I mean? And I'll be back with a video and another live tomorrow afternoon. So be on the lookout for that one. You feel what I mean? Until then, this is MazumA TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.